Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I am one of the lost Bee Gees, apparently.
Yes.
You missed that. My real name is Mitch English. This show is called Daily Flash,
Yes, it is.
and we sing during the commercial breaks and getting ready for the show. How are you, everybody? Right over there is James Alexander. How are you, Big Daddy James?
That's not going to lose my head now. Return of the Mac.
Me neither.
Return of the Mac. Sounds like the Bee Gees when I say it.
Word of the day, avuncular.
Avuncular?
Avuncular.
Avuncular.
Yep.
Avuncular.
Suggestive of an uncle, especially in kindliness or geniality.
So it's like a brother that's a friend that would be your uncle?
He's
Yep.
avuncular.
He's avuncular. So, like my best friend, his kids call me Uncle Mitch, but we're not really related. That's where you would use that sort of
Avuncular.
avuncular. Okay,
Okay.
very cool. My avuncular brother from another mother is Matt Doolittle,
You know
right
what?
over here.
Let's be your avuncular on our website at dailyflashshow.com. There you can share us, like us, subscribe to us, send us all of your interesting thoughts to flash at dailyflashshow.com. And sweet baby James will Mac Daddy them right back to you.
Yes, he will.
I think we broke Andrea during that break, that commercial break or that intro. She's like, what is going on?
Mark Morrison, The Return of the Mac. I was singing it and I didn't know the words, and so I was singing it. She goes, "Is that the Bee Gees?" And I go, "I could see how you could see that, but no, it's not. That's how
really
far off I was."
He was doing one of the return
And me. Yes, I do.
Doesn't that sound like Bee Gees?
Oh, 100%
Yeah.
it does.
Especially when it's two white guys who can't sing to save their life, and then
Which
that's
shows
happening.
you know, what the ear perceives, because I think I sound like I'm singing it, and it doesn't anything near it. It's more like Bee Gees.
and I'm asking you, the song is called Return of the Mac?
The Mac,
Yep.
yes.
What is a Mac and why am I returning
I
it?
defer to sweet baby James. What is a
James?
Mac?
You're the only one that can comment.
Mac and the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Mac and the ladies.
Macking
it's like a
them?
pimp. Yeah.
Oh.
The gentler demaculation.
So Return of the Pimp also
Basically.
means Return of the Mac.
Right, but the Return of the Mac is a movie, though. So,
Oh.
Turn them.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
was
think
that
we're
a
going down a
theme song
rabbit
for
hole.
the movie?
well, I think it was a theme song for the movie. The movie is super old. We're interviewing the people from the new Return of the Mac 2.
Okay.
So he's
Two
setting all
Macs.
that up.
Macking twice. Mac.
How do you return twice?
Mac squared?
I say the Mac never left.
Back to the dose?
Never left. I'm going to try and dig us out of this. There is a new trending story. This employee has been slammed for showing up to work wearing a long sleeve black top and denim shorts and high heels. So she didn't understand why she was sent home from work. So she, of course, posted a video of herself in her outfit on social media to get some sort of reinforcement and encouragement. And it actually turned opposite. People are saying you should never show up to work in denim shorts.
Why? Yeah, and why would, unless your company calls for it, like if you work outside and that's like
Right.
a Hooters type of restaurant, well, why would you? Denim
Right.
shorts is not
You
really.
can show up anywhere in denim shorts.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't. So she's got denim shorts on. They weren't that short, but still they're denim shorts. And somebody's like saying, regardless of the job, always refer to your employee manual. And, if somebody says it's inappropriate, it's inappropriate. And we're starting to see this trend as more and more people return to the office.
Yeah.
The question is, well, why can't I wear pajamas to the office?
It's all about professionalism.
Yes.
I wholeheartely believe the way you dress equals the way you act
Yeah.
a lot of times. And again, I say a lot of times. But it also just brings in the professionalism. If it's a place where customers come in, they're judging you. No matter how much you say that they're not
100%.
judging you, they judge you all the time. And you go, well, that's who's working here. And
Yeah.
in their mind, this person might not be that person at all. But if they're dressed like it, if you're dressed the part, then that's what you are.
There was one super popular fast casual restaurant that I would go to at least once a week. And I loved it. But I can't go there anymore because of the lack of professionalism behind the counter
I would buy
and the
that.
way the employees look. Because I think do I really want that person preparing my food?
Right.
I hate to say that,
if
but
you
it's
see somebody in a
true.
dirty outfit, you're thinking, well, they
Yes.
obviously don't care. They're not going to care.
Yeah.
That's going to go over into what
Right.
they're preparing for me.
My wife works in a super high corporate position in a super high corporate company, and she will come home and complain about what some people wore in, and they have sent people home. She said
Really?
one of their people, newer person, came in wearing Crocs, and they sent them home. They're like, no, bye, go home. And then that person wasn't there for much longer either.
Crocs, if you're, let's say if you're on the phone in the back or whatever, you're not going to advance anymore if you don't dress the part. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? If you're comfortable with doing that, where you go in shorts and Crocs and no one's ever going to see you or
Yeah.
whatever, that's your limit right there. But you should dress for the job that you want.
Right. Because the mailroom is probably as far as you're going to get if you choose to wear denim shorts and Crocs to work. And you might be single too, I'm just saying.
Probably so. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What are the limits? What do
Yeah.
people maybe in your workplace wear that you're like, you know what, there needs to be a rule here?
Shouldn't wear that.
Go to our website, dailyflashshow.com. You can drop us an email. There's a sound off button, or just drop us an email at flash@dailyflashshow.com. Let's check into some trending stories here. Ibiza may be the party capital of the world, but one traveler so furious when a bunch of rowdy passengers got their festivities started a little early on the plane. Basically, the traveler accuses passengers of turning a 3-hour flight into a nightclub.
Come on now.
She claims that the flight caused her to actually suffer a panic attack. She blasted the airline for allowing the party passengers to actually board the plane and accused them of taking pills and drinking alcohol before they were seated, which is against the law, because they always tell you you're not supposed to bring any alcohol on that's not being served on the plane. Why it's that? Why can't they just chug it down before they walk on? I don't know. It's the social contract we keep breaking, and it sounds like this is one of them.
But they were going to Ibiza?
Yes.
Well,
The party palace of the
been
world.
to Ibiza, that's Ibiza in a nutshell, on your plane. It's
So
drinking
it's
and
always
pills,
there.
it's partying, it's nonstop. So you're just warming up for what you're going to expect over the next
That's the
week or so.
pre-show, right?
That's the pre-show.
And so should you expect, though, that, hey, look, on this flight, I think that's where a lot of people have a problem. It's like, well, look, I paid for the seat. I expect everything to go my way.
Let me ask you this. You get a flight on a particular airline and you're going to Las Vegas. Do you expect everybody to sit there?
Yes.
I had some of the best conversations.
Well, Mitch,
We had an
can't tell that
actress in front
story.
of us
Okay.
one time, an actress, and we'll leave
Isn't
it at
the
that.
mood
Who wound up
different?
making up with a guy that she had just sat down there and later on,
man.
the guy.
He's
He
a
was there. He
fan.
witnessed
man,
it.
He's a fan.
You know what was crazy? When the bathroom turns into a transportation device,
Yeah.
let's just put it that way.
She
and
was a
then
totally different person coming
Straight
out of
to-
there.
Different
Yep,
person.
totally different person. It's crazy.
But let me ask you this question though: if you are on a flight to Vegas, don't you kind of have a different sense of what the flight would be like?
It should
a flight
be,
to
right.
Vegas is a different flight to Disney World. You know,
Yes.
you're getting a different vibe going to
And
those two
a flight
places.
to Disney World has a different vibe,
Yes.
right?
Having kids,
Yeah.
there's going to be tons of kids
Right.
on there. In Orlando, especially. James?
All right, so if this is going to cost you if you start bringing alcohol on a flight, right? So first time violations is up to $5,000. If it's very serious, it's over $40,000 plus you get put on a no-fly list.
Is that just in the U.S. or is that
That's in the U.S.
okay? All right.
Bring it on
the US,
the alcohol.
FAA.
You can bring it,
Okay.
you just can't open it because that's why they have the duty-free thing. So you
Right.
can worry about
And in
alcohol.
Europe, I think, the plane to Ibiza is going to Spain, so the rules are a little bit more relaxed. and
Probably so.
maybe that's kind of par for the
So
course.
she seemed okay. So to go along with this, which I
Yeah.
agree with, go along with if you know you're headed there, you're going to see people there. When in Rome, right? I mean, if you know
Yes,
that you're headed to
yeah.
something along those lines, then it's just you don't own the plane altogether.
Right.
And if she complained, hopefully the flight attendant said, "Hey, can you guys just take it down just a
Yeah.
little bit? We're having some flight." Usually, most of the time,
Right.
people are like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." They don't realize they're getting loud.
The thing
Maybe.
is, like, maybe she's from there, and so she experiences it all the time. Much like us, when we're flying in or out of Orlando, we know to expect hundreds of kids on the plane and delays getting through
And
security.
no space
and
up
no
at the top.
space in the upper bins. But I understand the frustration, no question about it. But it seems like in this day and age, it's sort of something we have to
You
expect.
can hope hope for it, you
Yeah.
can't expect it. How about that,
That's
right?
great. That's a great way to put it. A Georgia high school grad who collected his diploma made a mad dash for work after he got off the stage. 18-year-old Mikhail Baker was still wearing his robe and medals as he put on a pair of plastic gloves to bag orders at Burger King.
Look at that.
Baker's attire caught the attention of a customer who was inspired to start a GoFundMe page for him. All the money will be given to Baker so he can pursue his college dreams. Mendoza returned to the Burger King with the news, and the team was brought to tears over the generosity. So far, at last check, when I was doing this, the fund had raised more than $130,000.
Wow.
Awesome.
When I checked, it was like 60, so that's
Yeah.
great. Now, it's interesting we say this about attire. We were talking about wearing attire
Yes.
to work. You kind of appreciate this story of that because it goes back to you dress who you want to be or what you want to
Right.
have, and he was very proud. And the fact he did this right after he graduated, I
Right.
think says a lot about this kid. I like this.
You dress for the job that you want,
yeah.
right? Not the job you're in. And obviously, he's got great career ambitions, and being there right after graduation, terrific.
Yeah, a whole whopper of a story there. Good job there. Hey, we got more Flash coming up around the corner. Stick around. You are watching Daily Flash.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson!
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of
Hold
Hollywood.
on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
Matty of Berkshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Oh, dog and cat! It's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
It's on the media.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. Our next guest, Uriel Maksumov, has a new book out titled Awakening Your Inner Energy Intelligence. The book is a guide to discovering the hidden power of your energy field to heal, manifest, and align with your highest purpose. Please welcome Uriel to Daily Flash. Hi, Uriel.
Good morning. How you doing?
Very good. So this is fascinating. Tell us, what is energy intelligence?
So energy intelligence is like an invisible force that surrounds all of us, controls our desires, emotions, feelings, how we feel around people. You can attract positive energy. You can also attract negative energy. So the biggest, most important thing is to make sure you're channeling the right energies all around you so that you're feeling good all the time.
I guess this would describe somebody who they say can light up a room, right? They're emitting some kind of positive energy. Is that right?
Correct. So if somebody walks into a room and you feel great around them, you know that they're generating positive energy. Exactly.
How can negative speech and gossip block our energy fields?
So when there's negative, like gossip, right? You're like attracting a dark cloud around yourself. All those negative thoughts, emotions, everything that you're thinking about, it becomes part of your consciousness. So if you're constantly speaking about someone negatively, thinking about them negatively, you're actually surrounding yourself with that negative energy intelligence force that will affect your life.
I think we all tend to indulge in a bit of gossip. So how is it that we can get ourselves out of that pattern? Is a little bit okay, or should we just avoid it altogether?
I would correct yourself as it happens
Okay.
and just slowly avoid it altogether. Just get rid of it. You know, it'll change your life. It will attract positive forces, invisible forces that people can't see. And it will improve overall, like every area of your life. You'll attract abundance, success. People will like levitate towards you in a different way.
All the things that we all strive for on a daily basis, really. You say it's important to cleanse a home's energy. How do we do this?
So there's a couple of different ways, right? The first step is make sure your house is clean. Just overall, just keep it clean, keep it nice, keep it neat, because that will make you feel good and will also attract positive energy. But my favorite is sage. right? I like to light up sage. There's something called white sage. They sell it all over the place. You light it up, and just the smoke, as it spreads throughout your house, it feels good. And you start having positive thoughts and emotions. So if you do that regularly, your house is going to start to attract good energies to itself.
I love that. And also the idea, so many of us have good intentions of, let's say, cleaning out our closets or getting rid of junk. And once you finally do that, there is this kind of sense of newness and relief around it. Do you advise people to maybe do that on an annual basis?
I would do it more often. I would
Okay.
literally try to keep it like every month. You're just constantly cleaning. Like, I like to rearrange my room, rearrange my office, rearrange everything, just like my family room. It makes me feel good just to see that there's like a nice place to be around.
You also talk about daily meditation being important. What is one easy step we can take to start this practice?
So what I do guided meditations with my clients, and what I would say the best, quickest thing to do is close your eyes and just breathe. Just take like 2-3 minutes to yourself, disconnect yourself from reality and just inner thoughts. Don't let your stresses of the day bother you. Don't let your emotions interfere with your meditation, and just keep your eyes closed. If you do this twice a day, morning and evening, within about 2 weeks, you're going to start feeling like a whole different person. It's going to transform your entire life.
I've tried the meditation thing, Uriel, and what happens to me is my mind starts going in a million different directions. Is that okay? How do I quiet my mind in all of this?
So that's very normal, right? There is our auric field, and it's almost like an antenna, and it wants to talk to us. So when we go into meditation, we're disconnecting from the physical world, and we're connecting to something spiritual, right? And it wants to talk to us, so it sends us all those thoughts. So what I tell my clients is, give yourself about 2 weeks. Those thoughts will slowly quiet down, and you're going to hear less of it, and eventually it's going to be nothing. It's going to be radio silence. It's going to be just you.
Is it okay? Is it something that we would be okay to do in the car, or is it better served on a walk, or maybe just within a small dedicated space in our home?
Right. So obviously you don't want to do it while you're driving.
True.
But yeah, so, but yeah, if you're sitting in a car, let's say you're parked somewhere and you just want to, like, before a meeting or before an interview, and you just want to take a breather, that's perfect. You close your eyes. I love guided meditations. They're the best. I create them. They will take you to a better place. Like, if you find like a guided meditation you like, you can do it any time of the day. You mentioned walking. If you're walking outside and without music or anything, just like in a nice area with a lot of like nature, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel wonderful, and it's going to attract positive forces in your life.
Uriel, this has been great. For more information, please visit energyluck.com.
Something funny is going on, and it's happening every morning on Broadway and Friends on great radio stations all across the U.S. of A. Broadway, T-Wall, Mitch Pancake English, and Sweet Becca. Broadway and Friends, 4 mics, 0 filters, and more opinions than your Aunt Cheryl's Facebook feed. Broadway and Friends. Want to join the madness? Hit up BroadwayandFriends.com.
Spell out the word and
jump into the deep end, blasting for the back roads to the big leagues. Broadway and Friends. The most fun you can have with your radio on.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Brightside. These are a few stories on the positive side of the news, if not the bright side. First up, bride and heart recipient walk down the aisle together. This story is gonna really pull at your, heartstrings. Casey Wilson, who donated her son Miles' heart, invited 7-year-old Salil, who actually received the heart, to walk her at the wedding during the processional. Soleil actually used the stethoscope so that she could actually hear Miles beating in his chest again. It was a powerful moment of loss, hope, and growth that touched every guest. And it's so neat to see this. And I think that even the smallest of giving it helps out, but to be able to see somebody living because of the fact that their child's heart is in someone else, really has to give you another scope on life, if you will. I mean, it's a great story.
And for people to make the connection and be able to reach out and agree to be a part of her story and continue the story of her son, that was a great moment, Mitch.
Absolutely.
Well, here's a story about an Arizona teen who returns a wallet, then rides away on an e-bike. 14-year-old Cody Chalmers discovered a wallet on his bike ride with $300 inside, and he did not hesitate a moment. He tracked down the owner with mom's help and promptly returned everything intact. A stranger, touched by his integrity, bought him the very electric dirt bike he'd been saving up for. It's the kind of bike that costs nearly $4,000. It even comes from a store that seems to suit his act of kindness, Integrity e-bikes. Cody says honesty isn't just the right call, it pays off in ways bigger than money.
That is so
that
cool.
right. Yeah.
Those kind of stories are always great. I was at Disney when I was a kid, go figure, and I found a wallet at one of the play areas and returned it, and they actually gave me a free sundae from Disney. So I got something out of that.
And it just says a lot, like, somebody's going to need this a lot more than I do.
Yeah.
Here it is. And nowadays, like, if you lost your wallet, and if it's got cash in it, there's one thing, but because everything's always on our phone, but it's also the fact when you give it back and the money is still there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I just want you to have that. Great story.
Or 20 missing. Here we go.
Yeah, that's true.
And finally, he could have played it safe, but instead he chose to give of himself. Doug Rutch, diagnosed with terminal prostate cancer, decided to turn his final months into a national volunteer tour. He's called it Dying to Serve and has already visited food banks, senior centers, and soup kitchens in over a dozen states, volunteering in all 50 before he passes.
Wow.
The journey has recharged him. He's raised thousands through a GoFundMe, looped in others to join him, and says the human connections give him happy hormones that feel like they're extending his life. If you need to donate to help Doug along, there's a GoFundMe page set up in his name. So far, it's raised $117,000.
That's cool to hear. I guess it's all perspective, right? Like your motivation to get stuff going. It's all like, he knows that it's when you hear the words terminal cancer, you know where the end is. It's finite. So
and they do say positive vibes will keep you going a little longer. They say you got 6 months and you get 10. At least you got that extra time, but it's because of the positiveness.
Love saying that. And when you want to forget about your problems, you help somebody else, and it just melts away. There's some of your right side stories for today.
Let's turn to some trending stories now for you. She was told she was the most beautiful girl in the world when she was just 6 years old. Now she's all grown up and looks quite different. Here's 24-year-old Thylane Blondeau with long dark hair and makeup. She was handpicked by fashion designer Jean-Paul Gaultier when she was just 3 years old. She also holds the title of the world's youngest model to ever pose for Vogue Paris when she was 10. Blondeau says life has not been all that easy, especially when it comes to her health. The 24-year-old revealed that in late 2021, she underwent surgery for complications with ovarian cysts.
Oh, wow.
And you might remember that picture of her, that iconic image, right?
When she was a little girl.
Yeah.
And then I would always see it all the time, like pop up, almost like an ad. I would say, where the most beautiful girl in the world is today. And now we know. And hopefully she'll stay healthy.
Yeah,
it's nice
let's
to
hope
see
so, yeah.
We go down to Florida now, where a Florida influencer with quotes and mom-to-be facing backlash after her extravagant gender reveal put her and her unborn child all at risk. Lily Pons hosted a lavish reveal party with a showy stunt to announce the gender of her baby. The expectant parents pressed down on a red handle that read TNT and turned around to see pink goop shooting out of the teen girl side. The sketchy substance rushed out, covering the people standing underneath the sign. Liquid shot out so quickly that it flooded the stage, causing the mom-to-be to slip and fall while her husband jumped up for joy. And why do we have to make it such a big deal? You know what that child is going to be the rest of its life. Why they go all in? This is a lot of money.
And they're all wearing raincoats, except for her.
It's for the clicks, man. It's for the clicks.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everyone. I am Mitch English.
Yes, he is. I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash. Today's trends, tomorrow's top. Woo! We are also joined by our friend Matt Doolittle. Hey, Matty.
Guys, we have viewers all over the world, all over the country at our 219 affiliates across the country.
Yeah.
Not to mention all of our streaming friends on there. Make sure you share us and the Armed Forces Network out there. Today, we are spotlighting our friends in Savannah, Georgia, the WGCB. Now, I spent a New Year's in Savannah. Let me tell you, them folks know how to bring in the New Year's by raising the red Solo Cup. It was fantastic.
I've been there for St. Patrick's Day. They also do a good job on St. Patrick's
Big time. Big time. I have family there
But
too.
instead of the globe going up, dropping the ball, they raise the red Solo Cup.
Do they really?
Yes, because you can walk around with drinks as long as it's in a Solo
Good
cup,
old
and they
Savannah
raise
Joe.
the Solo Cup. It was great.
I love that.
I've always considered, I just made an observation earlier, to Jackson,
Okay.
about this show is basically my conscience now, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
If we could take the God camera, you know when they say you have an angel and devil on your shoulder? I look at Nick on this side. Nick, raise your hand. Raise your hand. And then we have Haven on this side.
Sweet
Over here.
Haven.
So I want you camera people to know, you guys
Will?
are my conscience.
What's
okay?
Will?
He's purgatory.
Will is purgatory. Will is my. Will shows me the
my
right
God.
way to go. I have to listen. Look at each other. Will looks like a monk over there.
What is going on?
He looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, he does. So he is my Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's your Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's my center, if you think that. But I just got to think about this morning.
That is a good point.
Having a devil and angel. I'm like, no, you're not that you're a devil, Nick. You tend to make me want to say something I shouldn't say. How about that? And then I look over to Haven and I go,
She's an angel.
she's an angel. I better not
Oh
say.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
Okay, we have another traveling story. This one, it just seems like it's harder and harder and harder to get through security sometimes because you have idiots that put stuff in these bags. Sometimes they stuff so much in
Have
it.
we not learned at this point what we're supposed to take
Right?
in and out of security checkpoint,
Well,
TSA?
now, I was reading on Reddit, travelers, basically they have a little secret duffel bag, and it was filled with souvenirs, and it went through, and the agent said, I can't let you go through this. This bag is too light. Meaning they didn't have enough. It was a big bag, and it had just a few stuff. It didn't have like a bunch of stuff in it.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you mean? It's the bag, and because it wasn't full, and it's like imagine putting like one or two little, like a pencil or
Items
something.
in a giant duffel bag.
Right.
Okay.
So they say, no, you're not going to be able to do it. She's like, I don't get this at all. I don't understand it. It's my carry-on. I know there's not a lot of stuff in it. But apparently there's a rule that you can't have a bag that's not
Full.
filled or even it only has a certain thing. It can't be too light. They said it's the bag was ruled too light under airline weight policy. Rules don't always need to make sense, but for some reason on this particular airline, they had a light bag policy.
Wait, was she checking it onto
She was
the
taking
plane,
it on
or
as
was
if-
it a carry-on?
It didn't say that so much.
Okay.
It said basically it was just a check-in. It was a bag full of
Souvenirs. I could see the bag not making it into the cargo, the check-in, because it could get smashed if there's not much in it.
That makes kind of a sense, yeah.
But people check empty luggage all the time.
It seems like that. Maybe
Right?
if
Yeah,
it was
big
like a
time.
duffel
Yeah,
bag,
especially here.
it could have got wadded up.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a
that's
bunch of
true.
different. They were saying, "Well, I can't believe this." Hell, I would have went down and just put stuff in it. It's like, okay, now can you do it?
No
Not
kidding.
necessarily the case.
All right, Maddie?
No, I was going to say, so it might be a trade thing because I know, especially in this area, we're a big tourist area here in Orlando. They're worried about people just coming in and buying stuff in empty luggage and taking it home. That's why you'll see a lot of luggage stores out at the outlets and everything because
Yes.
they buy it up and then they take it home. So that might be something they're worried about wherever
I know
they're
those
traveling.
countries.
Yeah.
You know.
I've met the women from those
You know.
countries.
I'm sure
You
you have.
probably tried to put them in a duffel bag. You were like Brad Pitt in Seven.
I've had my passport
What's in the
stamped
bag?
those
What's in the bag?
Which passport?
What's in the box?
Yeah, had his real ID, just no woman.
It was a Costco card.
It was a Costco
They were going to load up a Costco.
We're going to have more fun here on Flash. We don't want you to go anywhere.
She should have put a rotisserie chicken in there.
Yeah, right?
Are we doing that finally?
That's where it needed to go. We want you to check out our website. It's dailyflashshow.com. We have more fun and frivolity
We
coming up,
sure
right?
do. Don't you go anywhere. There's our fabulous rooster.
Pack your bags
That's
to the
right.
top.
We're back right after this.
Today on the Scene with Doreen, I I get to sit down with the founding member and lead vocalist of Toad the Wet Sprocket, Glenn Phillips. The band is back out on the road this summer, and I can't wait to dig in. Check it out.
When will we fall down?
Toad the Wet Sprocket was formed in 1986. My God, next year is the 40th birthday.
God, that has been a minute.
It has been a minute. Well,
yeah.
You grew up in Santa Barbara, California, and while in school, you decided, like a lot of guys, to form a band. It's 40 years later, and you guys are still out there.
We weren't expecting to get signed, number one, but I was going to move up to San Francisco and go to school there and do education, and I was not planning on doing this. We ended up going on tour instead of going back to school the next year, and I just assumed we'd get dropped in a year or two because everyone does, and then I'd go back to school, and then I'd do my teacher thing. But instead, it ended up being precisely the life I had already decided I didn't want, which was public scrutiny. So it's been 40 years of reconciling that, but it's also been all the parts that you do want of
Right.
The travel, the meeting amazing people, the getting to make art and make people happy.
Toad the Wet Sprocket has always been fiercely independent. You even turned down a huge deal from Columbia Records just so you could keep creative control.
Yep, saying no to money. Apparently, I'm really good at that.
Most musicians, I think, are deep down.
Made a lifelong commitment to that one. I mean, we had a very indie attitude for a band on a major label, and I think Donnie Einer, who ran Columbia, could never understand that I just didn't really want to be that famous.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to make a living, but I didn't have that need to win. So it was a strange thing. We were on a major label, but we were trying to play a kind of indie game.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't necessarily work.
Tonight on Whistle Test, we've got Rex Higgins, Steve Flea, the Wretched Admiral Sphincter, Grunties, Hot Nadgers, Red Buttocks, and Toad the Wet Sprocket. So it promises to be really good.
You were all big fans of Monty Python, and Eric Idle had written a skit, and you thought it was so crazy that you borrowed the name from it, but you really never intended to keep it.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be the stupidest band name ever, and we thought it would be hilarious to see in print, and then like a year went by, and we were trying to think of something really cool.
Right.
And we never thought of something cool.
No.
And I guess that was us.
That was you.
The good thing is, I mean, every year there are lists of the worst band names ever, and we are on it every single time. It's like writing a Christmas song, it's evergreen. It just keeps cranking. So every year we get a little bump from all the worst band name ever.
So you're heading out on your national 2025 Good Intentions Tour this summer, and you're going to be hitting 26 select cities across the country, and you've got such an incredible lineup of groups.
We're out this summer with Sixpence None the Richer.
Yes.
And I believe they're back to original lineup, which is awesome. And also Jayhawks. It's going to be great. And KT Tunstall is also going to be doing more in the fall, but some in the summer. So I'm stoked.
Visit ToadTheWetSprocket.com to check out the band's music, tour dates, buy some cool merch, and sign up for the newsletter to stay connected to everything that is Toad the Wet Sprocket and Glenn Phillips. I have a wonderful
Thanks
day.
a lot.
And if you want to hear more of my great conversation with Glenn, visit here. I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
Hey, Mitchie.
Hey, Jackson.
Yeah, I want to talk about that big story coming out of Hollywood.
Hold on, wait. I want to get Matt in on this call, all right? Hold on.
Hey, what's up, Mitch and Dias?
Matty!
Mitchie.
Mateus.
Mitch, my man.
Matty of Berkshire.
What's going on?
Hey, AJ wants us to talk about a big story that's happening.
This kid, the Kiki, says hi. He has his own Instagram.
That's great, Matt, but I really want to talk about this big story coming out of Hollywood.
Ooh, dog and cat! It's
You should check it out. This kid, the Kiki.
I want to know what's going on.
What?
Oh, okay, so real quick. Why does he still have a dial-up modem?
Hey, I gotta get back to wrestling stuff.
You know what? Maybe we should just try this later.
Okay, all right. Peace and love.
Daily Flash.
Where are you?
It's just better when you're part of the conversation. Join us online.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. Summer, perfect time to turn your home into a cool, comfortable, and inviting retreat, right? We got more with home experts Catherine Emery and Chip Wade. Check it out.
That's right. We have been chilling with all these awesome products, right, Kat?
Absolutely, Chip, but we need to stay cool. That's why we have Dreo. Did you know that this is the #1 rated household fan on Amazon for 3 years in a row? So this is their turbo poly fan. Look at how easy it is to control this thing. Through an app with smart control, it's got an automatic oscillation, 120 degrees horizontal, vertical, maximum airflow goes up to 90 feet. You're cooling that entire room, but it's whisper quiet, and I love all those different ambient lights.
Super cool. Now they have the tower fan as well. It has a brushless motor in there at only $100. This is a must buy. Very, very quiet as well. Now we cannot forget the portable AC unit, 5 unique cooling and noise canceling patents on this guy. Dreo has us covered on all fronts.
I mean, I love it. So go to Dreo.com or Amazon. So we've been chilling on the inside. Let's get vibing on the outside.
This is the product for it from GE called the Dynamic Effects Smart Cafe Lights. Super easy to install, millions of colors, even all the white tones as well. This is going to upgrade any outdoor space.
Chip, I love in that sync app how you can change the colors, you can sync it to the music, and you can actually control each light individually if you want, or set a scene. You can attach it to your voice assistant, ask Alexa, Alexa, it's time to party. Comes in 24 and 48 feet, and also you can find it at Walmart.
Great stuff, great stuff. Now's the time of year also where all the bugs that are flying are making those nests, the hornets, the wasps. This is where Spectracide comes in. This is called the Wasp Hornet Yellow Jacket Trap. Sugar-based, it lures them in and gets rid of them before they make the nest.
I love it. And if you might be a procrastinator, Spectracide has you covered. This is their foaming wasp hornet killer. As you can see here, it shoots up 20 feet. It blankets that foam around the nest, kills on contact, no staining, no oily residue. I love it because I want a sting-free summer.
Yeah, you do.
All right, speaking of peace of mind though, I want peace of mind when I'm cleaning. I want to get the job done. So this is 30 seconds outdoor foam cannon kit. Just stop and listen to that right there, the name, foam cannon, dun, dun, dun.
Boom.
Go find that on Amazon right now. But what it does is it's gonna clean large surface areas very quickly. Driveway, walkway, shed, patio, all those different surfaces.
This also comes with soap specifically formulated for outdoor cleaning. You just attach this through the pressure washer, you spray it, rinsing, no scrubbing at all. The ultra thick foam cleans to all the surfaces, does all the hard work. You can adjust the foam levels, spray patterns, and quickly switch between the cleaning and the rinse modes. This guy is gonna get the job done and you're gonna have fun while you're doing it.
And I love it because you can buy that soap separately if you want. You're gonna clean your cutting time down. It's so satisfying, and Chip and I think everything here is so satisfying. So to learn more, go to tradeshowtreasurehunters.com.
Have a great summer. See ya.
Here's a way to skip the traffic and skip the stress. This summer, millions of Americans are turning to boating for freedom, fun, and a fresh way to unwind. Here's more.
Summer is the perfect time to unplug, and millions of Americans are trading screen time for time on the water. Discover Boating's Ellen Bradley has more.
As more and more people choose experiences over stuff, they're turning to boating. And that's because of the freedom, the relaxation, the ability to disconnect and have adventures like nothing else. And the good news is that if you don't yet own a boat, or you're not sure how to get started, there are plentiful options from renting, boat clubs, and peer-to-peer sharing that help you get out on the water like never before.
Factor in countless activities, from fishing and wake sports to sailing and cruising, and it's easy to see why so many are looking to access the fun and wellness benefits of being on the water.
A lot of people don't realize that boating is good for your mental health, and there's real science behind it. It increases your serotonin levels, it lowers your stress levels, and it allows you to reset and recharge, truly like nothing else out there.
For more on how to rent, share, buy, or join a boat club, visit discoverboating.com.
Oh, I want to get out on the water. That looks so great. Travel expert Laura Begley-Bloom, she joins us to share great destinations as well as some interesting travel trends.
Thanks for having me. Let's start with a unique destination here in the U.S. So many people are staying in the country this summer, and I have an area that you should be checking out, Central Texas. It's just a short drive from Austin and San Antonio, and you'll find a trio of destinations that are like 3 vacations in one: San Marcos, Seguin, and New Braunfels. Together, they offer a blend of natural beauty with authentic Texan experiences, making them an ideal place for a summer getaway. You can tube down crystal clear rivers, go to an open-air concert, and indulge in world-famous barbecue. In each of these towns, water adventures are a regional signature. In San Marcos, you can go on a glow-in-the-dark kayak tour and check out the town's amazing murals on a self-guided stroll. In New Braunfels, it's all about family-friendly thrills. New Braunfels is home to the world's top-rated water park, as well as the oldest dance hall in the state. Seguin is home to the Burnt Bean, which was just named the #1 barbecue restaurant in Texas by Texas Monthly. Seguin also has an over-the-top 4th of July celebration that lasts 3 days. Add in iconic dance halls, art-filled streets, and festivals bursting with local flavor, and you've got an unforgettable Texas itinerary that's full of summer magic. Now, when it comes to trends, the way we travel is changing rapidly. People are sick of long lines, and new digital platforms are making travel easier and faster. A new study from hotel tech company Muse shows that 7 out of 10 travelers would rather check themselves in than deal with the front desk. And for Gen Z, that number jumps to 8 out of 10. Think about it. You can order food, call a ride, even check into flights from your phone. Why should hotels be any different? Hotels are finally catching up with touchscreen kiosks in the lobby, so you can avoid the check-in line and get your room key in seconds. Some let you check in completely online before you even arrive. We hear a lot about technology taking human interaction away, but here's the thing. When hotel staff aren't stuck behind a desk checking people in, they are freed up to really engage with guests, like providing local recommendations on what to see and do. Thanks to modern, innovative technology from companies like Muse, switching has never been easier for hotels, helping reduce front desk congestion, increase staff productivity, and deliver a better experience for guests. If you want more info on these, you can head to traveltexas.com or to muse.com. Thanks so much for having me.
Right now, Love Missions is working to purchase a 10-acre property right here in Central Florida. It's a place that's more than land. It's a lifeline for survivors of human trafficking.
It'll be a stable home, a space for healing, job training, and a fresh start toward real freedom. But they've got a tight deadline to raise $360,000.
And you can help make it all happen and be part of the survivor's legacy. Visit lovemissions.net or scan the QR code you see right there on your screen.
Every single gift brings lasting hope to someone who truly needs it. All right, everybody. This is our Wow Wednesday. Just some observations going on. I listen to on the radio all the time. There's a commercial out that NBC is doing because they have a new nightly anchor.
Oh yeah,
That's right. Lester Holt has left.
He has left. Tom
Yamas.
Yes, and first Cuban American to be able to do this was great. So they had to do a promo to mention that they have a new anchor, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you 3 different voices that they play at the beginning, and you tell me what's different between. One of them's different than the other, okay? So the first voice you hear on this promo, it goes, "I'm Tom Brokaw, I'm Sunday News." Okay. Next one goes, "Thank you for joining us tonight. Our top stories," and it fades out. Third one is, "I'm Lester Holt. Good, thanks for joining us." Now, what was the difference between 1, 2, and 3?
Brian Williams didn't mention.
Brian Williams was not mentioned at all in this promo. And now, what makes it even crazier is the title or the theme of the promo is "Anchor is our trust."
Right.
Our trust is our anchor, rather. And if you're not familiar, Brian Williams got fired for lying
on the air.
He is on the TV promo too, though.
They show him on
real
on
quick.
their,
It's a quick blip of Brian Williams.
I find it just interesting that they use Tom Brokaw, which is iconic,
of course,
and then of course Lester Holt, who I absolutely love too. That they use by name, but the other 2, I think Roger Mudd and then Brian Williams.
But it's like when they mentioned the Tonight Show, they're like, "Yeah, Conan O'Brien was there for a couple weeks, and moving on."
Right? But to me, if you're going to anchor it around that trust is your anchor, leave Brian Williams out of it altogether.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I don't don't get. So you hear his voice, but he's not named
No,
in the
he doesn't-
promo.
he
Not
doesn't
in
say
the
his
radio.
name. No.
Why in the world would you even use him at all? Like, it makes 0
Yeah,
sense.
I think they're just like, hey, we put him in there because then would it be more of a controversy that he
if they
wasn't
didn't.
in there?
If they
mentioned.
didn't.
I mean, he was there for a long time.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of completely forgot about that whole
Well,
thing
then
until Mitch brought it
and
up.
then until his contract was over, they shoved him on at like 11 o'clock on MSNBC.
MSNBC. That does it for that. We want to thank y'all for joining us. Of course, our website's always open for you, dailyflashshow.com.
You can trust us.
Please.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
Just
you
don't
know
ask
it.
to borrow money because we ain't got it.
Be good.
Y'all take care. We'll see you when we look at you.